Beacon Hill trying to pack a year's worth of accomplishments into the next week and a half.
But political minds are more focused on the presidential race than the race to the legislative finish line. Craig Sandler with the State House News Service joins us now. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, my friends.
Good morning. Where do things stand here in Massachusetts on the effort to replace President Biden? And what do you expect from our lawmakers this coming week?
Well, the Democrats here have the same problem the Democrats have all over the country. They can't seem to make up their minds. The leader of the party, Maura Healey, has certainly sent signals she wants Biden to leave, but she hasn't come right out and said that. Meanwhile, you've got other leaders like Secretary of State Galvin saying, well, no, he's our guy. It's too late for him to get out. We saw 7 state senators issue a letter this week saying that he should leave, but that's only 7. I'll be watching the House very closely this week to see if we see a similar kind of statement. And basically, it's hard to see this movement losing momentum. And the problem with that, of course, is that doesn't bode well for the energy the Democrats are going to need in this race. And this is a bedrock. This is a Democratic bedrock. Our people, we know whoever the Democrat is, they're going to win Massachusetts. But our people are counted on to fundraise around the country, to go to swing states and really put their backs into it, that they can't make up their minds about whether he should even serve. Our voters don't want him to run, at least according to the Globe poll, which I think can be trusted. As they say, it just doesn't bode well. And the Democrats here, it's a blue state. Democrats ought to be feeling blue, and they really are. If you talk to people in that building, they're not feeling good.
All right, Craig, and also the state budget is finally now on the governor's desk, along with the gun control bill that we've been talking about since last fall. So what do people need to know about each of these?
Well, in the budget, there's a classic political deal. The House wanted online lottery betting, and the Senate wanted free community college. Neither side wanted really what the other one did, but they put bargaining chips in the budget, which happens all the time, and they swapped, and both sides got those things. Those 2 provisions have been pretty well covered. Less well noticed is the fact that there is money for free bus service all over the state in regional transit authorities. And the other thing I really noticed is that I've been talking about how the House never did pass or take up its early childhood education bill, which they said was a priority. Where is it? Well, it turns out $1.5 billion for early childhood education in this budget, and plenty of language around it too, improvement of child care and so forth. And so that's kind of the House passing its early childhood bill right in the budget. Which also happens. On gun control, it's a stronger bill than I thought it was going to be. It expands the powers of authorities to take away guns they deem dangerous. It expands the prohibition on where guns can be carried, and it's strong in the way it cracks down on ghost guns, untraceable guns. So all in all, it's a pretty strong bill.
Okay, and lawmakers also passed legislation to help reduce the impacts of climate change and stabilize our hospital system. Where do things stand there? And what about the most urgent bill of the year, the housing production legislation?
Right. It was a busy week last week. It's going to be a crazy busy week this week as well. A lot of it not in public view, frankly. But here's the playbook. I think that housing production is going to happen at the very last second. And I could be wrong. You can't tell when they're going to agree on their provisions. We are going to see a housing production bill go to the governor, though. Climate change is very complex and sweeping. Hospital stability is the same way. It's hard to know with 11 days left whether they can reach agreement on those. If I had to guess, I would say hospital stability is so important in this state. I think they will reach an agreement and get it to the governor. Climate change, I'm not particularly optimistic about, but they could have started sooner.
All right, Craig, and all eyes, of course, are on Steward Healthcare. That includes whether Steward will find buyers for its Massachusetts hospitals this week, and whether the state will ultimately have to step in.
Okay, the end of July is just as newsy as we thought it would be. Thanks, Craig, with the State House News Service.